Okay, welcome to Radical Age. This is an extension of me. This is my lifeblood. This is my passion. This is my soul. And today, I want to share a piece of my heart with you. But I won't hold anything back. This is an academy launch, but at the same time, it's also that aside, it is also a sharing that gives you the three core tenets that have helped me to grow my brand from 0 to 150K combined followers in 2 years and seven figures in conversion, and also help clients in 3 months get millions of views and six figures in conversion. Okay, so I won't hold anything back. I ask for you to open your heart and your mind and get ready to be inspired. Okay, so there are three things I really focus on today: igniting your edge, 10xing your attention and authority, as well as streamlining your conversion, something that's very neglected, very underrated. Views are vanity, views plus conversion is sanity. Okay, so let's begin. I'm excited. Oh my goodness. This is months in the making, and years. It's a dream of mine for years to start a school. It's a dream of mine for years, almost a decade, to run a media channel. And he has given me so much energy, given me so much satisfaction and fulfillment that words simply cannot describe. Simply cannot describe. It's something that I hope and wish that you experience for yourself. Some of you have got that experience to a certain degree already. Right? We want to amplify that. We want to, amplify even further. Okay? So excitement, enthusiasm is the first premise of sales, it's the first premise of building a personal brand. And I'm going to be very excited and enthusiastic today. Ken? Okay, if you don't like it, I'm sorry, you have to politely leave now. Okay. Kevin, my name is Kevin. I don't take it for granted that everybody knows me. I understand that you might see facets of me online, certain videos, you might have certain impressions. Every single one of you, 30 of you, have slightly different impressions of me. Okay. But I have one mission and one mission only in life is to love and be loved in return. I believe love is the essence of life. I believe that I make money primarily to give it away. I can't take money to the grave. Okay? I make no apologies about it. I believe love should be loud, amplified, prominent, and a personal brand has enabled me to do that in a capacity beyond my wildest imagination. And therefore, now I started Radical Age to give you that taste or to inspire other people, to coach and inspire other people to also experience the same. Okay, so if you are someone like me who believes that your value deserves to be shared, but have a certain degree of fear, have a certain degree of uncertainty, have a certain degree of unsure where to start, then you're in the right place. Okay, because this might be the start of your day one. Some content accolades, attention accolades. I think you already might be aware that I have grown my brands. I've been covered over 10 times in every news outlet. This is not something that I perhaps have to elaborate on, but it's not something I take for granted. There's a lot of work involved, and I'll share with you part of the work later. Business accolades as well. It's not enough to be an influencer. It's not enough to do content. You have to have business acumen. The conversion, offers, funneling are all integrated but separate skill sets. Okay, and I'm very fortunate that I've also been exposed to people that help me to build businesses. I run a seven-figure passive distribution business for 10 years, the largest direct sales company in the world. I'm among the top 1% there, and I get passive income from there. Okay, I built that for 10 years. I've let my team run it for about 2 years now. So I understand very intimately self-employment. I understand very intimately agents' work, real estate, financial consultants, educators. All right. And then of course, I still run a six-figure education and training company where I go to schools to deliver programs. And finally, in the last 2 years, I have built a personal brand which has amplified my income and my influence. Okay. So this both gives me the experience and the heart to be in this position to start a school and also to train people to do the same. Okay, you might be asking me, Kevin, but you are radical, man. You can't be like you're crazy. Well, um, good news, and some not really bad news. Good news is that my clients are not as exactly the same as me. I don't want them to be exactly the same as me. I don't want you to be exactly the same as me. Everybody individually, every single one of you has a radical edge, has an X factor, has something that you can tap into to amplify your brand. Okay? All we did was bring that out in Bernice. Now she's in the room later, I'll get her to share maybe. All we did. But when she first started out, when I spoke to her and I went to the tuition center, she already has such a heart for students. And she has such clear vision of how she wants to run her company. All we did was take that, put it into content, encourage her to go in the streets and interact and showcase her radical edge. And just like that, we had a sharp increase in engagement, and recently we crossed a 1 million combined views month. Okay, so over about 15, 16 videos. So that's a huge win. I'm very proud of her. Okay, and of course, some of you have seen Melvin's work. I mean, a lot of you have known him for years. He is someone of massive substance. Okay, just like some of you here. But uh, his previous content was not tapping into that. It was too civilized. It was not him. It was not him fully. All we did was coach his team to tap into native formats, to be a bit more uncivilized or rather radical in his own right. He has a channel called Radical Mel. Okay. And then from there, his brand just skyrocketed, right? In terms of engagement, in terms of followers, I think about 4,000 or 5,000 extra followers, and also conversion. Okay, because his team is also very sharp. I don't take a huge amount of credit, obviously, but in the initial stages, we did help quite significantly with the brand identity and kicking it off. Hey, and of course, one more example is Edric. He's in the finance and sales space like some of you. Edric is a good friend of mine and a multi-millionaire by 30 years old, very capable individual. And same thing, he was creating content, but when we came in, we really helped him to tap into what makes him unique. Okay, and that made a difference. We extra 40K followers, 1.5 million views, record in a month, and he's still very active. Okay, so I want to play a quick video for you all because I think a lot of you all now are at a stage where Edric was at initially. You have this desire and you know that personal brand is important, but there's a certain level of doubt, certain level of fear that is kind of surrounding your heart a little bit. Every time you do it, it's like, what people judge me or not? Will it be a waste of my time? Okay, so I'm gonna play a short video. I was in Bali recently with Edric. Can you hear?
Make it out.
Just give me a thumbs up.
Yes, can.
Okay, thank you. So, this is just me. I was in Bali recently. Edric happened to be there also, and he recently paid 6 figures in Texas. So we talked about his journey in business and in content. Okay.
It wasn't the material stuff that I had. It was the impact that I brought for my team members. And after the surgery, I decided that if I were to make it out,
Okay.
I would do
Double
content.
down. Okay.
Yeah. So,
That's roughly around the time you met me.
so that's why I posted my first video.
Yeah.
It took me 20 tries to post my first video. I was so scared. I had a very huge fear of how people judge me. I mean, looking back, because I always have a chip on the shoulder, right? Being a beginner kind of scared me a lot. Yeah, and yeah, so
Similar, now my
Really?
clients also tell me the same thing, and these are people making a lot of money. So I'm always very fascinated.
yeah,
Yeah, very fascinated. But I get it because you're a beginner in a different field.
exactly.
Yeah.
But Naval Ravikant said that pride is the most expensive trait.
Yeah.
And successful people have the willingness to look like a beginner. Like Elon Musk, he made 200 million from selling PayPal. Then he immediately invested 100 million in SpaceX, 80 million
amazing.
in like Tesla, 20 million in something else. Then he go and borrow money to
Okay. Yeah. So that is him sharing. I just want to share this to encourage you because we all start like that. Later, I'll share my journey with you. You think I started out like this? You have no idea. Okay, later I'll share with you. Okay. So content is a journey, and but I believe it's a journey that is going to be worth it. Okay. So very quickly, a value of a personal brand. I think you already know this. I want to speak through this. Personal brand turns you from a commodity of being coveted. It is huge in today's world. It's huge with the AI that is incoming. Authenticity is going to be highly valued because no one knows what's real anymore. Content is not historically, content is unequivocally one of the best ways to put your face out there, to increase inbound leads, to negotiate for a point of leverage, to increase your conversion on ads. There's just numerous benefits of it. The drawbacks of it is, y'all get ready for this. This is a price you have to pay, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it to you. The drawback to this is that you must be comfortable being judged. You will feel some form of shame. You will feel some form of cringe. If you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to put down your ego for that, then you can leave this meeting because there's no chance you're succeeding. Okay? There's no chance. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it to you. So if you value the value that you give to people more, if you value the promises you made to your family more than your ego, then you can stay on. Okay, if not, then I can't help you also. Okay, so these are some examples of me when I started out. You know, some people that buy from me, I was wondering where they got it from, and then they said, okay, my wife knows you from your first brand, not even Radical Kindness. Okay, and so it follows you along. Personal brand follows you regardless of the business that you do. That's the power of it. Okay, this is the sales in the first month of my furniture site. Again, a lot of it was due to ads, but a significant part was also organic. Okay, and my influence as well. Okay, these are people coming to me for brand founders of 8 9 figure companies. They come to me and they ask me, and I go in expecting to sell to them, but they are selling to me instead. They are selling to me, showing me the place, telling me their needs, and it's just about how much I'm charging. Will you like that for yourself? Is a question I want to ask. Instead of having to beg, instead of having to spend 1 2 hours trying to share and tell people your value, and then after that, them saying, okay, let me think about it. Versus using a personal brand as a filter so that when people come to you, when you create appointments and you send people your page, they really know exactly who you are. Maybe not the fine details, but they know enough about you such that your sales process becomes a lot easier. Okay? Uh, Again, some client examples. This is Hakim. Recently, I think about 2 months ago, we worked with him, friend of mine for many years. He runs a P6 oral program to help P6 kids, right, with oral examinations. And he hit his first 5-figure month through organic content, just purely through organic content. And even had people saying that, hey, I want to pay for your highest ticket offer, even though it's meant to be an anchor offer. Okay, an anchor offer is something that you technically don't want to sell, right? You just put there so that the rest of the offers are there. But somebody just paid him and said, look, I want your highest tier package. I like your style. I like the way you interact with kids. I like your value. When can we start? Okay, so that's what a personal brand does for you. Aside from that, a personal brand also gives you recruitment leverage, especially if you're looking to scale. You cannot build a business by yourself. Stephen Bartlett said that 80 90% of business problems can be solved with good people. Stephen Bartlett is the Dario CEO, right, the founder. So, just quick video. Okay, every time I put out a video, by the way, I get, even if it's a talking head video, I get tens of thousands of views and more than 20 30 applicants, and I can select the best ones, and it's helped me tremendously. Okay, so let me please.
Hi guys, my name is Edric. I'm the founder of Inspire, one of the largest sales educational companies in Singapore. And I happen to be a money and mindset coach as well. So before I met Kevin, it took me 1 year, 3 months of trial and error, hard work to grow to 13K followers. And after I worked together with Kevin, within a short 2 to 3 months, we grew to 35K followers. And not only that, we attracted many good talents. Our community is growing very quickly because of the brand, and the brand position is getting a lot stronger, and people are starting to recognize us on the streets. And I wish I met Kevin earlier. Kevin has
Yeah. Okay. So she's just talking about how it's attracting talent much easier because people know what it's about. Okay, don't underestimate that because your businesses are built on people. Your businesses are built on values. They're built on vision. And one of the best ways to communicate your vision and your values is through a personal brand. Okay. If not, you have to sell them over like a call. It's so tiring. Okay. So, Ken, so with that, I'm gonna begin. So get ready. I want you all to, before we start some engagement, can you all type in the chat? Okay, what is the biggest barrier you have to content at the moment? Okay, is it your systems? Is it ideation? Is it overcoming a fear of shame? What is the biggest barrier you have to content at the moment? Okay, just type it in the chat so that I can get a sensing so that I can speak to your hearts. Okay. What is the biggest barrier that's holding you back at the moment? If it's only one thing or one thought process or one kind of um thorn in your mind, it's a thorn in your mind that keeps coming up. What is it? Okay. Sounding, converge without sending a generic ad. Okay, consistency and hook. Editing, interesting. Okay, ideation and differentiating from others. An agency space. Okay, got it. Don't know the stuff here. Judgment, analysis systems. Okay, I'll cover all of this. All of these are very valid. Energy. We are in the energy trade. You're absolutely right. Okay, it takes a lot of energy. By the way, I'm expending a lot of energy to do this. What's the next step? To help your brand grow. Okay. The value I can offer to the world. Okay, so I'm unsure of your positioning, right, Daniel? Okay. Get good. I get a rough sensing. Come up with creatives and ideation. What's good for views? Okay, great. I'll cover as much as I can. Okay. So I'm going to cover this. Now, to understand the secret, my number one secret to my success, right? I need to bring you back to the origin. To understand something at the end, you always need to start at the origin. So I want to bring you back to origin. I did not start like that. I started out taking 6 to 7 pills a day. Antipsychotics, antidepressants, anti-anxiety, everything. Nothing worked. For a year in my relapse, at 18 years old, I ended up blank papers for math. That was my first episode of depression. I overcame that. I was hospitalized there, tranquilized, overcame that. And then 10 years later, I had a relapse. At the peak of my career, I had a relapse. It was devastating. It was just pure, pure pain. There's no other way to put it. Every single day, I planned out my death. Every single day, 5 different ways of killing myself. And my body, my mind was just destroyed, ravaged. IMH, I went there over 10 times, more than 20 times actually. Okay. And I begged God. I remember that at certain times I just cried in the car. You can see in the picture there. And I begged God. I said, please. I said, please, I negotiated with him. I said, if you ever help me out of this, if you ever help me out of this, I promise that I'll be the most kindest, most loving person you ever see. Okay. Now, I do not know how. I genuinely do not know how. Parent support, pure grit. After 1 year, I came out of it. Okay. And 9 November 2023, I decided enough is enough. It's time to keep my promise. I took my broken iPhone. It's exact iPhone, by the way. I use this exact iPhone for my first video. I took a broken iPhone 13, horrible quality. I went out to Tampines Mall with a volunteer videographer. I had no idea. Every single comment that you put there is me. No idea content technicals. No idea how to shoot. Fear of judgment as well, because I was never, very prominent on TikTok. But what I had was a dream. Okay? What I had was a promise to keep. I'm getting emotional now because radical kindness, people don't understand. People don't understand what radical kindness is. It's not, it didn't start with a way to make money. It didn't start with a way to get attention. It didn't start with um this, you know, this very clear content systems and content technicals. Radical kindness essentially is just an extension of my heart. That's why I designed a logo like that. It is a heart. Every single one of my logos have a heart. And it's a heart on fire. Because at that point of time, I was on fire. I was on fire and had a vision that was unyielding, unrelenting. And I wrote this in my first ever post. I said that I want to build a vision where Singaporeans are not just robots that are suppressed and concerned about what other people think every single day. I want to inspire people to live authentic, purpose-driven lives that give back radically, that have compassion for their neighbor and not threatened by them, to have abundance and not scarcity. Okay? And every single day I posted one video, regardless. That's how I built my brand. Okay? And in 1, 2 years' time, every single newspaper outlet covered me. When I say every single one, I mean every single one. Okay? Straits Times, CNA, Zhao Bao, Must Share News, Today Online, Asia One, The Pride, every single one, CNA. They uncovered you over like 10 times, and now Zhao Bao wants to do a documentary with me. Okay? So it's safe to say that I know a thing or two about attention. Okay? And what is the secret to this? And I'll give it to you now. My brand wasn't just built on refined content technicals, but on one fundamental tenet. And that's my heart. A heart that loves, a soul that has courage, and a mind that does not register the word quit. A lot of people say that I'm fearless. Okay, that's wrong. I'm not fearless. I have fear, but I act in spite of that fear, and that is courage. Okay, and when you build a personal brand, before you go into the 10,000 viral hooks, before you talk about content technicals, before you start planning your systems, there's one fundamental thing you need to ask yourself. Why? Why are you doing this for? Why are you doing this for? And who are you doing this for? Okay? So that leads me to my first tenet. Oh, my first tenet of my school is this, and I'll say this without a doubt, that the most important purpose of my school is to uncover and to ignite your radical edge. I'm not special. Okay? Every single one of you has a radical edge, has something in you that is deserved to be shared, but you're blocking it. Okay, you're judging yourself, you self-stigmatize yourself. For me, that is being radical. For me, that is going in the streets and interacting with every single person. Right? For me, that is just a resiliency and a love that never dies. Right? For you, might be something different. Your radical edge is what makes you a one of one. It's your unique combination of your origin story, what you stand for, what you stand against, and what your heart wants to give to the world. And there are ways and methods in which I can help you to my team and I can help you to uncover the edge, which I have done for all my clients, and I'll share a bit later. Okay, but it starts first with igniting my own edge, and there is one key separation. I'm not someone that studies content behind a book and regurgitates a textbook to you. This is my life. I live and breathe this every single day. I came from a shoot. Okay. And because of that, I believe I'm in a good position, okay, to start with this premise. Okay, so with that, you may ask me, okay, Kevin, you're special. Okay, let's look at other people. So Hakim, like I said, Hakim, all we did was Hakim is a guy also with a big heart for kids. He has teaching kids for over 10 years. All we did was say, look, let's put some native formats, go on the streets, talk to people, showcase your craft, don't be afraid. That's all I told him. I gave him a bit of support on the content, technicals, right? Some editors, some videographers as well, and then you go out there. Okay, these are done with you models, not fully done for you. Okay, bear in mind, okay. Louisa is another example. Louisa is a TOT, youngest TOT in AG and AIA Nova agency. Okay, one of the youngest, only 25, 26 years old when she accomplished TOT, which is at 500K a year. Comms, net comms, When I first met her, right, I did not know that she was doing that amount. She was so unassuming, so humble. I did not guess that she's making $500,000 a year. But when I started working with her, it became abundantly clear to me why she was making that kind of money. Because she had a passion. Okay. And she was so convicted to share about this industry, to raise the standards of this industry. I did one coaching session with them, her and her content team. I said, I go down, I'll help you out. One coaching session, and these are the views. Okay, collectively, in this you can see over here, it's more views than the rest of the 20, 30 videos 40 videos she's done. Why? Again, I'm not special. All I did was inspire people to tap into their edge and stop being fearful, or rather, have fear but act in spite of it. Okay? And of course, Bernice is in the room as well. Bernice is one great example also. Here's my first client. She was one of my first ever clients that believed in me when I had no testimonials. You know, and I'm so glad that I could reciprocate that. You know, she crossed 1 million views, and you know, she goes on the street, she interacts with students, even in her center as well. She has such strong bonds with her students. And what's her edge is just her exuberance, her excitement, her youthfulness. And all we did was just take that and put it into, you know, formats that can sell. Okay, so that is the first tenet. I'm gonna repeat myself. You have to find what the edge of yours is. What makes you one of one? And this is not just relevant in your content. This is also abundantly relevant in your business. If you compete, this is what my mentor Melvin tells me, Kevin, if you try and compete on things outside your sphere of expertise or your radical edge, you will suffer. If I try and compete on AI with other people doing AI, I will get trounced. I'll get destroyed. Okay? But if I compete on being crazy, on going out there on the streets, nobody can beat me. Very few people in Singapore can do what I do. Does it make sense? So I compete on that realm. So in the same way, you need to ask yourself, what realms do you want to compete on in your business and your content? Okay, Ken, so far, following? Yeah, I'm a bit passionate. I make no apologies. Okay, so good, thumbs up. Yeah, just give me a thumbs up on the emoji. It's making sense to you so far. I can type in the chat. Okay, ready? Let's take a deep breath, and then we continue the tenet 2. So once you uncover enough your age, right? Yeah, the next thing is this attention. There are only two things you need to keep in mind. We talk about content funnels, right? The only two things, very simple. My funnel only got two elements only. I keep it simple for you. How to get attention and how to convert into currency. So how to get attention and how do you convert organic attention into money? Can? Can follow? Okay. So with that, I'm going to cover attention first. There are three things I'll talk about. First, to get attention, we are all logical people, right? Singaporeans, we grow up, we memorize stuff. So we need to understand the science of virality. If you want to go viral, you need to ask yourself, what is the science of virality first? How do algorithms work? And they work in a very simple way. There's only one factor and one factor alone that determines virality. You can tell me controversy, you can tell me all this kind of thing. Yes, those are subsets of it. One factor is engagement. Okay. The more your content is being engaged with, the more is liked, shared, comment, and saved, the more it's going to go viral. It is that simple. The algorithm doesn't suck. You suck. You don't blame the algorithm unless you have certain trigger keywords, then fair. Okay? And how to get engagement is retention. The more people watch your video, the more engaged it is, the more it goes viral. So the next question is, how do we retain the audience? So I'm going to ask you all the question now. Let's think about it. When was the last movie or last TV show you watched that you were hooked from start to end? You were drawn in, you were sucked in. You were sucked in like gravity and you can't stop watching. Think about it. Give me a title. Maybe I'll type in the chat. Type in the chat. Give me a TV title or like a show or movie that you were glued. Your attention was glued. Think about it. Just one. Yeah, I'm asking you a thing because, when you reflect, then you can link it back to your own brand. Yeah, I'll just see some answers. Endgame, Money Heist. Okay, interesting. Prison Break. Okay, Avengers Endgame. Yeah. If you look at all these, what's the commonality among them? It's very simple. Is that we go into it now, the psychology of it, is that they all start with an open loop. My eyes shot open. It was bloodshot. The room around me was cold, and beside me was a hammer. What am I doing now? I'm starting a novel. I'm starting a scene. I'm starting a video with an open loop. I create multiple open loops there, right? Why is it bleeding? Why am I bleeding? Right? Why is the room cold? Why is there a hammer? Human beings, right, we're wired to be curious by nature. So if you put hooks or open loops that people can't help but watch to close, you can't help but wonder who ends up with who in Singles Inferno. You can't help but wonder what happens at the end of Prison Break. Did this person break out of prison or not? Right? If you create that, right, and you draw character and you make people drawn to certain characters and storylines, that's how you create open loop. After that, you do you close it, which is called payoff. So when you close the loop, you give them a payoff, you are igniting is a word. You are activating dopamine in people's brains. When you activate dopamine in people's brains, psychologically, they're hooked. Okay? All your phones and everything is psychologically designed to hook you. Okay? Because it's a payoff. Now, this is where most people stop. They only think of hooks. Then they stop. No. Throughout the entire video, you need to have re-hooks as well. You need to open another loop. Okay? Cut dead space, fill the narrative, open another loop, and close it multiple times throughout the video, regardless of content format. Whether you do vlogs, street interactions, talking heads, skits, carousels, doesn't matter. You need to open and close the loop multiple times. This is what I call retention or retention. When you create tension multiple times, you are retaining the audience. Am I making sense? Okay. So what we do is we understand this because you can see from my results. Every single one of my videos, when I talk to my editors or my team, I ask them, is this justified? Why are you putting this frame in? Is it helping to open loop? Is it helping to close the loop? If it's not, then let's remove it. Okay? So that's a science of retention. Now, once you understand that, next thing is how do I ideate? right? Some of you asked in the box. These are simplified, okay, generic ways. There are nuances, of course, but in a simple way, the two broad ways to ideate is to copy virality. Okay, you can repeat after me in your head. Virality can be copied or adapted. There's no such thing as a true original. There's no such thing as a true original thought. Okay? Usually, China sets the trend first, America copies, and then we copy. So whatever you see as trending in America is going to spill over, right? But my point is this: all formats are copied. There's no true original. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples. But the key thing is this, is that then you ask me, Kevin, then just now you say your radical age how? You know, in 67, sorry. Just now you say your radical age how? Right? But I thought you say must be unique. Yes, you copy the format, but you infuse your own flavor into it. You infuse your own radical age into it. Yeah? Don't copy it. Don't be dead when you copy it. Okay, that's what I did at the start. Right? So this is an example of a video in the US where people ask people for money and they buy them something in return. So I said, why is no one doing that in Singapore? 2 years ago, literally 2 years, 4 months ago, I did my first video. 6 months ago, sorry, I did my first video, November 2023. I said, hey, let me ask a helper for money and buy her anything in return. That video got me 888K views and 7,000 followers from one video. Okay, all I did was copy the format. It was 1 minute, 30 seconds. But what I did differently was that I really, 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 really showed my care for the helper. I went extra mile for her. I asked her about her family. Okay. So that is what I infused in. Okay, the next thing. This one, Zachary is his name, MD Motivator. He does this where he hugs people, he blindfolds people, he hugs people. I took that format and I brought it to Singapore. Until today, 2.5 years later, it still went viral again with the Zhao Bao one. Okay, I think it had thousands of shares and like 300 plus K views. Okay, and the media coverage. All I did was just infuse my own personality into it, my own age, my own origin story, my own sharing, my own heart. Okay, but the format is the same. Make sense? Okay, good. Now, second way of copying. Okay, regardless of whatever, whether you're a financial consultant, you're real estate, you're an educator, whatever industry you're in, there are formats that in your space that have already gone viral before, and there are formats that have gone viral generically that you can bring into your space. Okay? That's the first one. The second one is look at broad themes, topics, or trends that people constantly talk about and then address it in your own content format. Okay. Recently, I think I don't want to be too specific, right, with detail, but one of my team members, she came over from a different country, and when she came, it was like culture shock to her because of how surveillance or suppressed this culture is. So it was really big culture shock, and she talked about it in an intellectual way, right, on TikTok. She talked about, she explained that, she explained, her thoughts towards it. The videos went viral. Why? Why? Because this is a topic that all of us relate to. We've been talking about this for decades. When I imagine, now I'm 30 years old, 31. When I was 18 years old, when I just messed up my A levels, I was talking about how students are confined to alphabets on a piece of paper. 12 years later, we have the same conversation. The same conversation. That's why I find it so incredulous, right? But what she did was obviously she presented in her own radical age, right? Her intellectuals presentation, right? Research and her own take on the situation. She didn't just regurgitate off a ChatGPT script. My point is that when you observe topics, themes, and trends in your space, and what does your target audience care about? What are they talking about? What are their aspirations? What are their fears? And you adapt it to your content format, you will go viral. That's what I did for Edric. You see his views before that, he was just talking about generic stuff. I said, look, Edric, in your space, you want to reach out to young adults, want to make a name for themselves, want to do sales. What are they talking about? Income. Talking about how much money do they make. Go and search Reddit, go and search TikTok. All the same topics, Poly, JC. And we just put it, and we adapt it, and this is the reach that we get. It's not rocket science. Okay? It's not rocket science, but you need implementation help. You need certain people that guide you through the nuances. But I'm saying that it's not super like, rocket science to the point where like, oh man, this is magic. Okay? Okay, good. Later on, I'm open to a lot of questions, okay? Right now, I just want to stick to the time. Okay, now, so the first one is master attention, understand the signs of attention. Second one is copy variety, and the third one, okay, after you do those two, right, what people struggle with is the post editing. Yes, some of you say I don't know how to edit. I take a lot of time. It's true. You should be building a business and closing sales, not just editing, ma. Correct? So that is why part of the success or in the content is not just the production, is the distribution. I say it again. Part of building a personal brand success is not just in production, it's also in distribution. Some of you may not like the name that I'm going to bring up, and ethics aside, right? We don't talk about ethics aside, but Rayston is an individual that's 19 years old. He's making six figures profit a month, multiple six figures profit a month, because his content distribution systems are very, very, very strong. He has multiple channels, multiple Clipper accounts, and everything funnels back to the same offer. Okay, so what are your content distribution systems? Is something you need to think about. Now, over here, what I recommend is this, and this is another secret, okay, to my distribution, is that number one, I myself understand what good content fundamentals is, at least on a baseline level. I have my brand identity and my brand guidelines. If you just hire a VA and tell them to do just hire an intern and tell the intern to do content, do you think the person will be as invested as you? If you just hire an agency and tell them, hey, create some content for me, do you think that they understand your radical age as well as you? Do you think they understand your heart as well as you? They don't. You have to take ownership. So after I took ownership, then I say, okay, let me coach my team, right? And so then I have interns come in, I have full-timers that come in. I say, look, I want you to shoot, edit with me. I coach you. I want you to be on the ground with me. You shoot with me and do content cuts only. So there are three aspects to edit: content cuts, sound design and video effects, and captions. Three parts. I tell them to do the content cuts because locally it's easier to talk to them, right? And then on the spot, hey, this is what we want to include. Then I outsource it to offshore editors and offshore editing team to do SFX, VFX, and captions. And we manage it on Discord, okay, and with Notion as well. So it's a very efficient and cost efficient and effective content system. Am I making sense? Can? So this is what we also help our clients to do. We help them to build effective content systems and not just over rely on us. And the last one, obviously, is review and tweaking to help you increase your success. You need to review which content formats are doing well, how to double down on it, what when to cut. And then finally is AI optimization. Okay, I left AI to the end because it's inevitable. I use AI, you guys gotta use AI. But if you use AI without understanding of your fundamentals, you're just gonna produce more of subpar work. Okay, you use ChatGPT to try and ideate for you without any fundamental, it will just be very bad. Okay, so AI is used to optimize it. Definitely something that's part of my program as well. But you need to understand your foundations first. Okay, even with all this, right, secrets are the problems that people face is three. Number one, implementation. You can know the knowledge, but implementation sometimes you need some guidance. Secondly, not sure where to find. You don't know where to find these editors. You don't even know how to hire them. You don't know how to qualify them. Yes. And then the third thing is you don't know how to guide and manage them also. So what we do and why our offer is very persuasive and why people buy it is because we solve all of these for them through done-for-you models with longevity rather than paying a premium for temporary done-for-you models. Now, let me say this unequivocally. I'm not putting down agencies. I work with agencies as well. Okay? And in certain capacities is also very, very useful. But many of you are treating agencies like your head instead of your hands and legs. The moment you treat agency like a panacea, right? That's the start of the downfall of your business. Okay, because they'll never be as invested as you. That's what I said. And they will never be able to script things the same way that to your heart. Now, I would say also that a distinction that I noticed is that usually for product-based businesses or brand-based businesses, right, like a brand, a product brand, agency might work better, might work better. Whereas for personal brands, like agents, coaches, educators, founders, or personal brands, I think it's a bit harder to get an agency in to just script for you because it is very personal. Okay, you can't just copy formats and yeah, it might make sense to you, right? So that's what I've noticed and what I've observed along the way as well. Okay, so yeah, good. Okay, last segment. After attention, how do we convert it into currency? Okay, this one again, right? Again, agencies also don't are not responsible for this all the time. And there's a frustration for a lot of people. They always complain to me. But at the end of the day, like I said, you have to take charge of the conversion. Okay? And what is this? let me break it down for you. This is from my experience, okay, how I've converted seven figures in revenue through tight funnels or streamline your funnels. Okay, this is how you would streamline your funnels. Okay, this is tenet 3, sorry, not tenet 2. Okay, my bad, I didn't change it. So tenet 3, and this is the last tenet of my academy, is that you need streamline conversion. So there are four things. The first and most important thing is that you need to have a clear positioning or symbol. Now let me explain what this means. All of you have heard this before, right? Can you type in the chat now? You'll type in the chat. You'll be talking to me for a while, hearing me for a while. Can you all type in the chat what do you think positioning is? Like if you could describe positioning in one word, what is it? One word, sorry, my bad. A phrase or a sentence. Yeah, what is your content positioning? USP, okay, amount of value. Okay. People's perception, okay, cool. Let me get a few more. How you want your audience to view you? Okay. Oh, Dylan, hello. You're here. Brand authority and exclusivity. Okay. What makes you unique? Okay, one more. Now continue. Your uniqueness. Great. Hi. Okay. So yeah, very simple. I'm gonna just simplify it for you. Number one, three aspects to it. Number one, what are you undoubtedly known for? The keyword is undoubtedly. It cannot be what you're kind of known for, what you're sometimes known for. No, it's what you're undoubtedly known for. Without a doubt, when people mention my name, Radical Kindness or Kevin, there are certain impressions that come to your mind. You're known for very specific things and impressions. That's where you know you have a strong positioning. Are we clear? Okay. Secondly, secondly, okay, is what is your value and your values? Okay, this I learned it from Mel. I need to borrow. I need to give credit to him. So, when people buy from you, right? Okay, this is very important. Please take this down now. People buy from you because they either uh, see the value you bring to their business or themselves, or they like your values. Okay? Now, what is the difference? Value is more tangible. It's financial, emotional, spiritual, whatever. It's the big three: health, wealth, fitness, health, wealth, relationships. If they determine and they watch your content and they determine in their head that with Kevin in my life, I can be more fearless or have more courage. With Kevin in my life, I can 10x my attention and my money. With Kevin in my life, I can finally release the years of baggage that I have. If they determine that in their head, just like how a guy flew down from KL from one video of me barefooted, okay, because he wanted to overcome his fear of judgment. If they determine in their head, they will buy your offer or at least consider your offer or reaching out to you. That's value. There should only be one timeline that exists in your prospect's mind: before CJ, after CJ, before ISCONs, after ISCONs, before Emmanuel, after Emmanuel. Okay, so that's value. Now, what is values? Values is very simple. Values is what you stand for and what you stand against. Values is your radical edge. In fact, I would say a radical edge is a combination of your value and your values. It's the symbol that you stand for. You know, what do you symbolize? Every great personal brand symbolizes something. Why is Marvel worth billions? Why do people cry over an anime character? Why? Because they're just characters. Because they symbolize something that you want for yourself or something that you deeply relate to. Okay? And if you're so fearful of judgment, right, you can never connect on vulnerability. Okay? So that is the second part. And the last part, oh wait. Okay, last part, linked to the second one. What do you impress upon people? What are the three key words that people, say when they come to you? For me, it's very simple. I only have three. Radical, crazy is really under one. Intense, bold, and the third one is authentic. If you ask people their impressions of me, usually fall into just three categories. And the bonus one is perspicacious. Perspicacious means being able to give a really insight into things, very articulate. Okay, so that's what I've decided for myself. Okay, so that is positioning. Cool. Okay. Next. So remember, sorry, just to finish this point. Ask yourself, you gotta look back at your content now. Look back at your content. Is your content currently showing either value or values? If it's not, then it is a content that's not gonna convert. Okay? Next. Intricate and intimate empathy for a target audience. Now, this again, right? For some reason, this is just not talked about. We talked a lot about eloquence. But in order to be eloquent, You need to have empathy. Okay, charisma is not just being extravagant and loud. Charisma is not just impressing people. It is impressing on other people their importance. It is putting a magnifying glass on people and making them feel seen, heard, and understood. If you just take one activity, nothing away from today, we just do a survey with three people, three avatars in your target audience, you will gain so much insight into your content creation. Okay. Now we don't do that. Okay? So ask yourself, what does your audience feel for? Who's your ICP? Who's your ideal target audience? What are their concerns? What are their aspirations? What is their heart beat for? And when you can speak directly to people's heart, you can sell to them. Why? Because people don't buy because they fully understand. They buy because they feel understood. When somebody can empathize with you, you're gonna automatically assume they have the solution, even though it may not be the case. Okay. Therefore, it is empathy and not just eloquence that sells. And I'll add one more caveat to this. In content, it is eloquence backed by empathy that sells. I'm sure most of you can agree that I'm quite eloquent, right? I can string together a bunch of sentences with a lot of passion. But what most don't know is underlying that it's very deep and sometimes painful empathy. I go very deep into people's burdens, okay, for a decade. And I'm grounded, literally. That's why I don't wear shoes. That's why I go down people's level because I want to empathize with them. I don't want to ever feel like I'm out of reach. You understand? So you want to be eloquent, you got to start with empathy, and this is a lever in conversion. Okay. Third lever, the ability to speak clearly, expressively, and persuasively. Now, I have to put this in. I was talking to my co-founder, should we put this in, should we not put this in? Technically, this is not really under content, but understand this. Every single content piece you put out there is you communicating to somebody. So if I give you the best content technicals, the best formats, the best videos, but you cannot express yourself clearly and articulately on the camera, you will still not be persuasive. Can we agree on that? Can, right? And Singaporeans are horrible at communication. It's atrocious because we don't practice it and we always fear judgment. So it's not even that I'm good, it just happened that everybody sucks. That's why I stand out. Okay. So I'm going to give you tips how to speak clearly, expressively, and also work with my clients to do this. Number one, when you speak clearly, try and open up your mouth when you speak. Can you see that I'm being very exaggerated with my mouth movements now when I'm speaking? A lot of you speak like that. You swallow your words saying, hello, my name is, you mumble, and your jaw is tight. Open up your jaw, put an apple inside your mouth, and speak clearly. Enunciate your words. That's one. Second thing, expressively. Now, how do you speak expressively? Two simple ways. I borrow this from Hakim. Okay, this one I must give credit to Hakim. You make your words. If you have kids doing P6 oral, go to him. There are two ways. One is you make your vowels longer, or stronger. Longer is that I'm very tired today. That's longer. Or I'm very tired. Stronger. Emphasis. Just these two things alone can help your expressiveness go up a lot. And understand why this is important because the camera eats up 30 to 40% of your energy. So if you already have low energy and you speak on the camera with low energy, it's going to come across as dead. And no one's gonna watch it. We are traders in energy. You have to understand that. We gravitate to places that give us energy and gravitate away from places that sucks our energy. Can? And again, energy is tied to your radical itch. If you can uncover your radical itch, trust me, your energy is gonna go up. Why is my energy so high? Because I'm passionate. Because I'm so okay, I'm not scare you. You get it? Okay, so you need to tap into that and stop letting fear stop you. Okay, and the last thing is persuasively. Persuasively is basically using rhetorical devices. Okay, I teach my clients how to use, metaphors, literary devices, PEL, point elaboration, example, link, your logos, pathos, and emotion, credible. So all these things are part of my, academy and offer as well. But there are only three ways to persuade, right? One is logically, logos. One is through your credibility, who you are. And the last one is through emotion. You tell stories, you are passionate. Okay, so these are the three broad ways to persuade. Good. Okay, finally. Ooh, Okay, good, I'm on time. Finally, we go into this, which a lot of you miss out. Relentless and reviewed funnels. Relentless and reviewed funnels. It's not enough, right, to do everything, okay, ignite your age, do video, get virality. But this part was missing my brand. This was the key that got me money. For the first 1.5 years in radical kindness, I was not making a single cent. I was losing money. In fact, I was giving away tens of thousands of dollars. Okay, I was giving away Rolexes for fun. Okay, so then only when I did this, then I started to make money. So this is a very simple content funnel. Okay, or rather, first of all, you need to have initiation, which means that you need to either reach out to people or follow up with inquiries, or you rekindle old conversations. Then after you nurture, you close, and then you review. Okay, let's go into this. Initiate. Some of you heard ManyChat before. You should know, right? So ManyChat is basically automated thing. Every time you comment manual, every time you comment something, it will automatically send you a new DM. Every single new follower of mine gets a DM. So nobody goes untouched. Everybody's followed up with. Okay. On top of that, I also have VAs from Catalyst Outsourcing, which is my partnering agency. It provides me good quality VAs that follow up for me. So they follow up for me, they set for me, they funnel them into my WhatsApp, and then my salesperson closes it, and then they go to the masterclass, or in this case, my academy. So it's a very clear funnel. Another thing to note is that you cannot build multiple funnels at once. You should have one or two max clear funnels. In fact, a lot of people just advocate for one. If you have too many, it's like very hard to manage. Okay, yeah. So how many of you have this? Some of you should have, right? If you don't have, can consider learning how to integrate this. Okay. Secondly, going back to this, right? Some people from your initiation, they will go directly to the closing. Some of your agents, right? You set one-on-one, you close them. However, not everybody's like that. Some of you here have been watching my content for months. Okay? And you need to be able to nurture, you need to have a nurturing channels. So the best nurturing channels are two. I'm going to share with you now. Listen carefully. The best nurturing channels are two. One, Instagram stories. This is very slept on. And two, Telegram group. I say again, Instagram stories, Telegram group. We can email this also, whatever. Okay. But these are the two most common ones. What I do is that nowadays, instead of just showing testimonials, instead of just showing like an outcomes, it's not very persuasive anymore. What you want to be doing is showing the process. It's documenting the process of you coaching and consulting your clients. From the start, when they're shy, when introverted, 10 views, to now expressive, getting thousands of views. When people see that process, and your target audience sees that process, it's very persuasive for them. Right? Some of you came here because of my story postings and my Telegram postings. Yes? So this really is just a documentation. Now, obviously, there are ways in which you can design stories. These are all intricacies that I don't have time to go into. But when you start to show a process in stories, don't just tell me, okay, today I'm here at this launch. No. You share a bit more about what's going on, right? How you help the person, go into detail a little bit. Right? Show both. What is it, guys? Value and values. The Instagram stories should show either value or values. Okay? Same with your Telegram. That's how you convert. Can? Okay, and finally, you can review. Okay, this one is an example of my tracking sheet. Every single person that comes in my funnel is on Excel, and they'll have an outcome. I press my guys respectfully, of course, and give them incentives that, hey, look, let's work together. Every single person needs to have an outcome. Whether they're funnel, the masterclass, Telegram channel, I don't care. They need to have an outcome. And I mean every single person. Okay, one video that I did recently, I think had close to 200 leads just from that video. 100 plus 200. And every single one of them was follow-up one. Okay, I think that video alone probably made me close to 50, 60K. Okay? I mean, but bear in mind, that video didn't make me 50K. The funnels and the relentless funnels and the conversion tools and the VAs helped me to get 50K in conversion. So I just want you to know that you need to have both. Can? Okay. It's my honor to bring up somebody now. Some of you have recognized his content. Emmanuel is also Victorian like me. He recently onboarded to work with me. I want to make it clear that I do not take credit at all for his reach and his engagement. He did it with another coach. He did it through sheer ownership and stepping out of his comfort zone. He did it through igniting his own radical edge. So he got a lot of leads, too much for him to handle. And so when we onboarded him, we helped him with we helped him with that process, how to design funnels, and also share him a bit of nuances about how to design his content to have both value and values. Okay, so yeah, let me just bring up Emmanuel for a short while to just 1 2 minutes to just share with you guys experience working with me and how we have helped. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, unmute yourself and share.
Hi guys, I'm Emmanuel. Yeah, so I'm a financial advisor. Yeah, I started working with Kevin maybe like 2 3 weeks ago, and like what he said, I've been posting content quite relentlessly since November. I onboarded with like a previous coach, like an online, sorry, like a overseas in UK based coach lah. And I think one very key point, right, that I would like to say about Kevin, right, is that he doesn't just focus on views and virality because views and virality alone doesn't get you paid. Like, it doesn't matter how many million views that you get, right? But if it doesn't get you paid, then there's no point. And I'm sure everyone here is looking to not only get views but also to translate it into currency. So I think that's the part that I really saw a lot of value in Kevin, right? And yeah, he's helping me with the back end stuff, just refining and tightening my funnels. And I recently onboarded a VA as well. It's my first time hiring someone. Yeah, so he's walking through that process with me, like how to hire properly, also how to outsource properly. Like he said, they are your hands and feet, lah, not your whole business. They're not here to solve all the problems in your business. Yeah, so that's the aspect that I really find valuable in Kevin.
Cool.
Yeah.
One more thing, just a little bit add as well, right?
Mm.
When I talk about reviewing your own content, the scripts and everything, you share
Mm.
with me a little bit about the nuances, right? Talk to me a bit about
Yes.
that also. Yeah, and then how
Yes.
you personally ignited
Mm.
your own age. Yeah.
Okay, actually that part I really, really have to give credit to Kevin for. So I knew like the basic, scripting frameworks, how to write a pretty solid script through, the foundations that I had from my previous courses. But what I think was really lacking, right, that I found in Kevin was the ability to speak to the Singaporean audience. Like I said, because my coach, and the YouTube videos that I see, they're all overseas, right? And because Kevin's from direct sales as well, right? So yeah, I mean, the context here in Singapore matters as well, and the way we speak to other fellow Singaporeans also matters. And yeah, I mean, when reviewing the scripts that I wrote to him, uh yeah, we managed to how to say rephrase the words to
Yeah,
better
yeah.
fit the Singaporean context.
Sure.
Lah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good, got it. Thank you so much, Emmanuel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
worries,
Thank you
man.
so much. I appreciate you. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just a time I didn't ask him to share about his age, but he himself also went through a journey. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Like, let's just share about it anyway. Who cares, man? If they want to leave, they can leave. But they
Oh,
won't.
so,
They won't. Obviously, they won't. Okay,
uh,
I want to share about this. I think you told me, right, that when you started out, you also had this fear, right, of people judging and everything. And then you had a certain distinction. I want you to share because that's very important for people to know. I want them to give them a bit of hope. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I mean, I started off in financial advisory. I licensed last year June. Then I did the normal like direct prospecting. I even tried cold calling as well, right? But I realized like these channels didn't really, not to say they didn't work lah, but they just didn't really resonate with me, right? And then I realized like, wow, shit, okay, I can post social media. I see the funnel, I see it done overseas. So like it's just not done in Singapore, right? So I thought like this is an area that is so untapped in Singapore, right? But I was like, shit, now when I start posting, I'm gonna be that FA in my friend group, because I'm still in uni. So like all my friends are gonna see my videos and wow, they're gonna think I'm like damn cringe and whatever. And on the day of posting, right, I filmed a lot of stuff, I filmed a lot of B-roll, then I got my video ready already. I was so scared to post, right? Because I had to go to class after that. Then like, oh shit, my friends are gonna see it, then the mindset that I had going in there was like, fuck, I'm just gonna post. All my friends that don't like, that find it cringe, they can like fuck off. Like I'm gonna drop them, Yeah, then it's like okay lah, then my true friends will stay. But since I posted from November until now, right, I've not lost a single friend. Nobody in my life, right, will ever come out to your face and say like, wow, your content stinks. Only like trollers on TikTok lah. But yeah, like my friends around me are more supportive than ever. They give me ideas. They talk about my content on a day to day. Like I have a series called Mindset Mondays, and then they
Mm.
always look forward to. Like, I kid you not, it's crazy, right? And the opportunities that I've got from school, my university also asked me to do a day in a life of a MBA student. So I was like, what fuck? Like it's crazy lah. Like what
Yeah.
I expected and reality was like so different. So I really hope that people will start posting more. Yeah, because it really changed my life, and I hope it changes, your life and your business here, lah. Yeah.
Thanks so much. No, no,
Yeah, no
appreciate
worries,
you.
man.
Keep rocking. I mean, it's only up from here. I'm looking forward to your growth and
Yes,
yeah, I
sir.
appreciate
Thank
you
you, man.
sharing. Okay, so let's go back into to wrapping up, right? Is that now that you understand also the importance of funnels, right? I'm going to, talk about the vision. Okay, we finally arrived at the close, the vision. Now I want to say this first of all that today, right, I'm not accepting any payment. Can I explain to you why? Because I firmly believe that when I onboard somebody, it is a sacred trust. I do not take it lightly. Okay, because I have mentors that changed my life, and it's a promise to keep. When I built my MWay business, right, there was the Rich DeVos, the founder, wrote a book called Promises to Keep, one of my favorite books. Okay, so today the most I can do is to give you an offer. You want to speak to me and my team in the next couple of days, you can put a school invite and then we'll chat with you to qualify and see if you're suitable. Okay? So today I'm not collecting any payment because I need to qualify you and you need to qualify me. So I want to really know if I can help you before I sign you on. We cool? Okay, so just to set you at ease first. In case you think I'm gonna hard sell you. Okay, so let's start. How did this vision start out? It started out with a shit. Okay, let me explain. I mean it literally, by the way. This is not figuratively. So last year in March, I was struggling. I'll tell you what I was struggling. I just completed Radical Games, which I spent thousands on. My sponsor pulled out last minute. 1 point something million views. Who else do Squid Games? Crazy enough to do Squid Games in Singapore. I did it. I got 1 million plus views, but I wasn't making money from content. And my reserves were drying up. I was not making money fast enough for my businesses to cover the amount I was giving out in Radical Kindness. And because I'm so unbrand friendly and so PR unfriendly, I get no sponsors. Okay, so then I think, okay, what should I do? I was in Geylang Serai Bazaar, I remember my co-founder. I wrote it down. I said, hey, he was helping me with radical kindness. So what can we do to make money? Then we put down. Then we put, oh, courses. Hey, what course can I teach? Leadership, communication, resilience. I said, oh, maybe content, Maybe content. So I started content. I put on an Instagram story, how many of you would pay $100 for a 1 day course with me? 150, I think. I think 60 people voted. And I did that and I made 10K in a day. And I was like, whoa, there's something here. But I did not know how to build this business at all. Okay, I did not know funnels, I didn't know scaling. This is all so new to me. So I left so much money on the table in the first few masterclasses I did. Then, okay, what happened was this. While I was taking a shit, right? Suddenly an idea came to me. I said, how do I make money? How to make money? Then I realized, right, that I had one brand called Radical Perspectives. It was a podcast of mine. But nobody cared about podcasts. So then I was thinking, School of Hard Knocks is essentially like Colchester, like followed Daniel Mack. But School of Hard Knocks is a different format that is very popular. But in Asia and Singapore, nobody does it. And I just knew that would work. I just knew it, and I couldn't sleep. It was 2, 3 a.m. I did until 6 a.m. I designed everything, right? Look at all the AI, the stupid AI logos, and I just slapped it on a golden heart, right? Not very refined, whatever. And then in a few months, I was right. In 5 months, you grew to over 40K combined followers, millions of views, and most importantly, and this is where the crux is, you want to listen very carefully. Most importantly, I got connected to people that were making money. I say again, previously, I was only connected to creators. I have nothing against creators. I love them to death. They have helped me so much in my content journey, but they cannot help me in the business journey because they're not monetizing their content the same way I'm monetizing. So I met Joshua, right, for the first time in his house. He invited me to his house. I met Edric. I met so many people. This is Janice as well. Janice also runs a she's a very sharp lady. Yeah, so I met so many people. Okay. Two people in particular changed my life or changed my my business. The first person on the left, his name is Ethan. I need to give credit to him. Ethan's my agency partner now in my businesses. Now when he started out, he just helped me abundantly without any expectation of immediate return. He helped me design funnels. He helped me understand the world of business. He runs a seven-figure home and living company, and he was also an agency owner for over 10 years. So he's a very astute entrepreneur, very wears Uniqlo shirts, very unassuming. He's around my age. So way richer than me. No ego. He sat down, he worked with me through my business. In the first couple of months, he helped me to reach six figures. I was amazed. I was amazed. But people like that, just one person can change your life. But you see how I got to him? I got to him because I started Radical Riches. I had a channel and I had a personal brand that people knew about. That's why I was willing to reach. That's why I was willing to reach out to me. Okay, so I made my own luck in a way. Now the second person that came in, this is about after about 3 months. It was about 2 months. Is Melvin. Some of you know him, and I'll share a story. I know my time is getting up, but not worry, I'll finish before 10:30. Okay. Um, Melvin. Okay. Now Melvin's an interesting breed. Melvin, Melvin is one of a kind, as you all know. His intern came from my content class. And he said, "Can you want to meet Melvin or not?" I said, "Okay lah." So I went to an AI event. And during the event, my shoes were cutting my flesh. I just bought new shoes. I was bleeding. I was so annoyed. I took out my shoes. I went to lunch barefooted. That was the first time in July 2025 I was barefooted. First time. I went to Crystal Jade in Paya Lebar Square and Melvin was there. I don't think it's Crystal Jade, something similar to Crystal Jade. We sat down, I was barefooted. Melvin turned to his intern and said, "Hey, you want me to meet this guy?" This guy a bit xiao long, not wearing shoes. But Melvin is not the guy to judge, right? So he sat down, he asked me to share my story. I shared my story with him in about 30 minutes. He looked at me and said, "Kevin, actually, I already know your story. I've been following your journey. You coach in schools, right? Remember? And you are also an influencer, I know." And he said this to me. I'll never forget. He said, "Kevin, you are a raving lunatic." He said, "You are a raving lunatic." He didn't say lunatic. He didn't just say lunatic. He said raving. He said, "But it's not necessarily a bad thing. That's your X factor. You stand out so strongly from the Singaporean crowd where everyone is institutionalized and like Walking Dead that you become weird. But in fact, if you stick with what you do within reasonable boundaries, you can build a brand and make money. And right now, and you will attract a tribe that resonates with you. They may not take off the shoes, but they respect the disregard for judgment and they want that for themselves." So he said this: "Now you are crazy and you have attention, but you're not crazy rich yet. In order for you to continually doing your vision and mission, you need money. Okay. And you need to hang out with business owners. You are hanging out with people doing content, which is great. But the business owners are going to make you money." So he made me an offer I could not refuse, and he coached me. He said, "I'll help you." And he kept his promise. Fast forward to today, my income is 10x because of him, because of his influence and his mentorship. And on the flip side, he paid me close to 5 figures for my consulting on the spot. Okay, in that particular photo that you see there. And then I helped him to make 6 figures through organic also. So what that did, right, was a few things. And this is a very important thing to keep in mind. Very important thing. Melvin understood my radical age. For him, he called it X Factor. He understood it. He didn't judge me for it. Okay? And he knew how to shape that energy into a specific direction. Why I'm getting goosebumps talking about this, right, is because that was the first time I stopped wearing shoes. Which means that ever since I stopped wearing shoes, right, my income is 10x. Okay? At one point of time, right, in my life, I had to dress up. I had to put on a suit and a tie. I had to wear shoes because I was a nobody. And I understood that. So I played by other people's context. Now that I built a personal brand, I own the context in many cases. Not all the time. Sometimes I wear shoes. But I can close deals, a lot of deals, 5-figure deals without wearing shoes. That is a testament to two things: leaning into my edge. Number two, the importance of mentorship and the importance of someone that validates and coaches you. Okay, and that leads me into my offer and my vision. What Melvin has done for me, I want to do to hundreds of people because I want to give back. I feel guilty. I feel guilty that I have access to these people and a lot of people don't. So I'm going to take the best of all my mentors and I'm going to create a school. Best of obviously my content knowledge as well. And there are three purposes of it. Number one, and most important, to ignite your radical edge, to build a community and to inspire and instigate you to tap into your genius. Number two, master attention and your authority. And number three, to streamline your conversion. Okay, so these are the three key things. And at the end of the day, the key outcome for you is that when you come to this school, I want to inspire and train you to build your own cost-effective and systems for longevity, and not just a one-off thing where you pay one-off and then you next month, how? Can? So if that's you and you relate to this, then you can stay on because I'm going to talk exactly about what we offer. Now, how? Number one, the three C's. In fact, there are six C's here. I love acronyms. Oh, alliteration. Content curriculum, constant coaching, and convicted community. Let's talk about the first one. I'll host this on school, right? I'll host this on school. There will be lessons in every single content format. And also on your mindset and what you need, communication, what you need in order to succeed in content. I'll record lessons and I have exercises in each. Okay? So you get and you have a clear roadmap. You have a clear roadmap to follow when you join us. Second thing, every major content format would have pre-production, production, post-production, and case studies. And I want you, these are very specific frameworks that you can use. This is a storytelling framework you can use to do your videos and get results. This is an example of a past client that followed a framework and got one video, got him 2 sales. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to be as easy, but I'm saying that it's possible. This is a tuition teacher that talked about his story. You can go watch this, is essentially following this format. Okay, I rewrote the script together with him, and we executed this. Okay, so that is that. Now, on top of that, also some of you are asking content systems, everything. Well, we have production tools and systems. I use this personally for myself. I have one master planner. I also have an ideation template that people can use, and also a content planner that you can use with your editors, with your VAs, so that everything is streamlined in one place. It's not all over the place. Can, about B-rolls as well. I'll teach you how to collect B-roll bank. I'll teach you how to organize materials. That's production tools. Okay, next tenet. So now that we have content curriculum, the next thing we have is, okay, by the way, my content curriculum also has conversion templates. So how to design your conversion, your bio optimization, your values, everything is there also. Okay, so this one. Second thing is constant coaching. Now, can we all agree that just knowledge alone without a coach and implementation is a little bit difficult? That's why the element of coaching comes in. I'm blessed with great coaches, and now me and my team hope to be that for you. We're going to have once a week group coaching, Q&A, about 1.5 hours. Okay, alternate weeks is going to be me and my co-founder. So I'm going to cover radical age and attention. He's going to cover conversion and offer-related, structure, skill-related stuff. Now you might ask me, Kevin, who's your co-founder? Is he as knowledgeable as you? Is he as competent as you? Okay, this is where I'm going to sell him. I will sell him non-stop. Because I can say, I get emotional now. I can say, his name is Zixian. He's in the call today. I can say that without him, Radical Age would not have survived. And it would not be where it is today. Okay? He came in about 3 months ago. After the first month of working with me, he dropped out of school because we made 5 figures. I made him 5 figures. But even then, I never forced him to drop out. He did it on his own accord because he believed in the vision. Okay? Believed in the vision, and he supported me on his vision. And every Steve Jobs needs a Steve Wozniak. I'm spontaneous. I am extravagant. I am a showman. But I'm horrible at back-end stuff. Okay? He came in and he streamlined my stuff, my offers. He worked with me on the back end, on the hiring, everything. So I give so much credit to him. Okay? I give so much credit to him. And this is the first picture we took. He was my former downline in Amway. Okay, about 3 years ago, this is the first picture we took. Okay, this is him helping Hakim. Hakim made 10K a month. His next goal is 30K a month. So we worked with him on his exact offers, how to structure it, how to optimize it, in our realm that we have invested in, to help him, beyond just his content. Because, at the end of the day, you want to make money. Okay. Even though this is not the focus of our academy, this is part of what we offer as well. And he's gonna hit that. Okay? Okay, so that is the conversion side. And finally, we also have, during the week, if you have questions or whatever on scripting, everything, content, conversion, whatever, you can put in the community forum and we'll reply within maximum 48 hours. It might be shorter than that most of the time, but me and my coaches will reply within 48 hours and we'll give you answers to it. We'll direct you the resources as well if you need to. Can? Okay, so that is coaching. And
I think I went from someone very private.
let's look at, okay, this one is this is Jared. He's a new real estate agent. Let's hear from him.
Afraid to speak to camera, afraid of how my voice will sound, to now it's like just shoot, record, post.
Right, I can see your expressions and gestures as well. You're almost speaking like me now. I mean, you share with me obviously, but I like the confidence, the expressiveness, and the way.
I think maybe I add on a point here. Before I went with Radical Age, I was exploring those online options, online, and I think that's so different. Yeah, those US-based kind of content coaching that just gives you some manuals and AIs, and that didn't really work. Whereas with you, I have this weekly coaching session. I get to access your masterminds, I get to access your community events.
Okay, and so that leads to the last point, which is community. Now, this is something that I'm so passionate about. I've invested a couple tens of $1,000s into my new space. Some of you follow me on social media, you've seen. When that space is up, I tell you, I mean, actually, I'm really hosting events there, but it is so exciting because I came from a direct sales background. You guys know, 10 years I spent in my team. I love all of them. They're like my sons and daughters. I miss them so much. And so now I get to build my own school. I get to build my own school. I have masterminds and access to these of my networks to come in to speak to you. Collective inspiration. I will have cash incentives as well. Maybe the most views in the month gets $1,000. You know me, I can be quite extravagant with my giving back, right? I'll have cash incentives. I'll make it fun. I'll make content fun, right? And of course, we have collaboration channels as well. You can collaborate with people in the school. We also give back together. So I'll invite you on some of my shoots to shadow. I'll invite you to give back with me also. So it's so fun. And at the end of the day, we make money is to give it away. What else are we going to do with it? You're going to give it to your family, give it to people you love, give it to people in society that is underprivileged. And everything's good. So so if you are someone that also values community, you are someone that wants to be part of a radical community that believes in their value, that wants to ignite their radical age, and wants to make money and give back, then you're invited. Okay. I'm gonna just do a quick comparison here before I bring up Bernice to just share, and then I'll close it. Okay. So others might not be as practitioners, me and my team practitioners daily. Okay, if you go with agencies or whoever, they might batch shoot content, there's no tweaks, there's no refinement, they're not involved in your funnel, in your delivery, your conversion as well. You're just reading off a script sometimes with a teleprompter. Whereas in academy model, you take charge and you're involved in all stage of your funnel, your personal growth, your conversion. Okay, no community as well. Now down here, have access to community that can be life-changing. So price-wise now, okay. So this is where the price comes in. You can either pay 3 to 5K a month for agencies, over rely on them to make 10 to 12 videos, or you can work with us 5.5 or 3 months, get access to everything that I mentioned earlier, build it properly, and create long-term success. So you tell me on whether it makes sense to you or not. Yeah, I don't want to sell it any further. I'm going to bring up the principal, what's she gonna call? She's gonna be the head prefect of this school. She is so excited. She said, "Kevin, I want to be your first person in the school." So I was, okay, you're the first person in my content school. She runs the school herself, but she runs Bright Culture, and we have to share a lot of similar values. So I want to bring up Bernice to just share experience working with me and just a little bit about the school and her excitement to be part of it. Can?
Okay, I think need to enable the video. Yeah, it doesn't,
Oh
it
yeah,
has been
okay.
disabled.
To say you
Yeah.
need enable. Yeah, I think we wanted to keep it clean so that in the video there's no privacy issues.
Oh, okay, can.
Yeah, I think you can already. You try? Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
So hi everyone, I'm Bernice here. I run a tuition center, but maybe before I start, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Then I can share with you all the experience also. So from what I see from Kevin's, right, I guess the first question that he asked y'all was what are some of the pain points that y'all have when y'all do content creation? And I saw through the chat that it was ideation, exactly what I was figuring out. So you all can look at my past TikTok or my past Instagram. You can actually see that the ideation was not there. It was not focused, and I had a lot of difficulty trying to ideate. So that's when I was in the search of a content creator. So what was my criteria when I searched for a content creator first? Because I'm a teacher, right? So I come from a background that everything has to be very structured because I need to structure things for my parents. I need to structure things for my students. I don't want things to be airy, furry, like fluffy, but I cannot really word it out or I cannot have a structure to it because myself, I plan curriculum. So that is what I look for in the content creator that I want to work with because time is money. So when I saw Kevin's one thing that really speak to me was I needed a content creator who has give results in the Singapore context. Yeah. So when you work with a content creator, I think it's very important to see results. That means he himself can create virality first before he can teach you how to create virality. So that is why I believe strongly in education because you need to go through the struggles or the problems. Then you can tell your clients what are the struggles and the problems. And he himself have proved it through his accounts. Yeah, I mean, you all certainly have saw his account. Second thing that attracted me to him was the word kindness. So I told him about this because I think it's very important that empathy and kindness shine in our content creation nowadays in the social media world. So what really then that's when I decided that I will go all out with him. Yeah, because there, I mean, to be honest, there are a lot of content agencies out there. So when I met him for the first time, same thing, he didn't sell. He didn't sell to me. I just went straight up to him and tell him that I want to sign up for whatever offer you have. Like he doesn't even have an offer at that time. Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, I walked up to him and he doesn't even have an offer. I just said, okay, never mind, I'll just work with you and see how things go. Yeah, so then time is money for me. So that's when he improved all the efficiency. He could give me a structure. He could tell me what are the different hooks. Yeah, so that's when eventually then he gives me ideas that I can really translate and it's actionable. I think that's very important. Yeah, in today's social media world. So it's very clear concepts, execution ready content. So in a business, I find that it's not just about skills, but the heart and intent that Kevin has that really drawn me into him. Because what do I mean by heart and intent? Content creation is not just a start. That means in the journey, you need someone to actually guide you along. Because, okay, I can give you a very simple example, in the journey, you could get negative comments. So that's also something that I want to share also. I mean, in my journey, I get negative comments, but how do I handle it? So that's when I needed someone who have the experience to guide me along. Yeah, so it's not a one-off thing, the value that he gives. So along the way, he guides me along the way, just like how we need someone to guide us along the way with the difficulties and obstacles that we face. Yeah, and then another thing is content creation will attract you audience that you are targeting because the content you go out will decide the audience that you want to target. So being in a business, I believe that you all have actually worked with clients that you don't want to work with. Yeah, anyone who has clients that you don't want to work with. Maybe you can type a two in the chat. Yeah, if you all have. Yeah, so myself, I see it as a time efficient way for me to also filter people that we can work with and cannot work with. Yeah, so that's how I view content. And that's how Kevin has helped me along the way. Yeah. So if you all have any questions, just feel free to type in the chat. I will be happy to address. Yeah. So these are things that I really value with Kevin in this journey. And of course, he mentioned about co-founder Zixian. Zixian really has brought in a lot of value also. He's really someone that I really enjoyed working with also, in the sense that he gives me a lot of assurance that things will go well. And he's also very structured and he will remind me like, oh, all this video is ready to go out. Yeah, so let's just remember to schedule it. So he also helps me along the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you so much, Bernice. So you're looking at your classmates.
Oh yeah.
So
So I believe I have teachers here also, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So the
Yeah.
classmates and also classmates of the school. Because if
Oh,
some of them
okay.
sign up, they're gonna be your classmates.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, correct, correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I hope this. I mean, obviously, we may not be for everybody, but if you join, then yes, Bernice would be your classmate on this journey, lah. And I think I really believe in abundance. I believe that everybody can help each other in their own way. Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna close with my last final offer. Okay. Is the launch? I am launching this. It's unlikely that I'll do this ever again. This is the first launch of my academy, and because of that, I want to give a special offer. Okay. Oh, this is you. Okay, a special offer is that you're seeing my screen, right? Okay. So because it's my launch, I'm gonna give a $500 launch discount first of all. So that's 5,000. And on top of that, I'm gonna give an extra month. Now, I wrestled with my co-founder on this. We said that look, 1 month people might take it for granted. 3 months if it's shorter, people might be more urgent with that stuff. But I contemplated, I touched my heart and I meditated about it and I say, look, at the end of the day, we want this to launch with people who are really on board. We want people who have hearts that are ready to go. Okay. And when you come on board, I will run with you. And that 4 months, then the extra month, I believe I want you to use it. I believe that at that point of time, you will not take it for granted. Use the extra month to produce results, to produce more testimonials, and you will help my academy as well. So in helping you, I'm also helping myself. So 4 months, $4,000, $5,000, sorry. Okay, and on top of that, I will also give you a one-on-one implementation consult, which means I'll come down to your business or you, and I'll draft out a game plan in your positioning and talk to you. Okay, and this is usually only available in my one-to-one offers. Okay, so what's next? If at this point of time you guys are really sold and you want to be part of it, I said no, not yet. Okay, I want you to scan first and book a date. You can take out your phones and scan, book a half an hour slot within 3 days, either tomorrow, Monday, or Tuesday. Tomorrow, Monday, or Tuesday, half an hour time slot where we'll talk about it. I want to hear your brand. I want to hear your outcomes. I'll clarify any further questions before we officially sign a contract. And in May, I will launch it proper. Okay? But in the meantime, just scan, book a time, book a date. Okay? There's no obligation to get it. There's no obligation that we might choose you also. Okay, if you scan this. Can? Okay. So just scan. I was gonna say something. I kind of slipped my mind. Yes. Oh, yes. I just realized. Okay. So there are two groups of people in this call, right? The one group of people have already gone for the masterclass. I know. And perhaps you couldn't afford my higher ticket offer. So that's why you're here, because you're considering this launch offer. I've upgraded massively since the time that we spoke. Whether you're batch 3, batch 4, batch 5, now I'm my batch 19 already. Okay, so I've massively upgraded since then. The new knowledge, new tools, new energy. Okay, so and also the price point is lower because it's academy offer versus a one-to-one. So this is something you can consider. Now, for those of you that are first time hearing me speak, okay, but you're already compelled, you're convinced, and you want to take part in this offer, this is what I can do. You can still chat with me one-to-one, okay, on with my team. And if you decide to come on board, I can give you a free masterclass slot. Okay, on 1st May or 17th May or wherever the next thing is. I think 15 is 15 May, sorry. 1st May or 15 May. All right? Or if you really need a bit more convincing, then you can come for the masterclass first. Okay, we'll see. But just scan and then we will chat within the next 3 days. Cool? Okay. So with that, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to leave the screen on and take questions, but it's an absolute pleasure to speak to every single one of you. This is the start of my journey. This is only the beginning for me. I'm very passionate in the next coming months, years ahead. I have a vision to give away $1 million. And I'm speaking it now. It's going to happen eventually. It's just a matter of when. And I'm committed because in order to make money, I got to help you guys make money. Okay. And more than that, this isn't just content to me. This is an extension of my heart, like I told you. So if you want to be part of that, I'll talk to you more. Okay, with that, I'm going to leave this screen on. If any questions, feel free. Okay.